He had the longest run ever in local television sports here in St. Louis, just over 34 years. And now Doug Vaughn is thriving on radio. Everybody who knows him likes him. I thought he would be a great guest tonight.
This Sports Plus conversation is sponsored by your Quality Ford dealers. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 47 years.
And it's a pleasure to welcome the great Doug Vaughn. So, you haven't done TV in 3 years. I'm wondering, how many times now do people just run into you at a grocery store? I watch you every day.
It's usually only people I owe money to. I don't get that a whole lot. Some, just enough. Yeah. But the good thing about this job is if people don't like you, they don't watch, so they don't know who you are. But you know, if they kind of liked you, then they watched enough to recognize you in the grocery store.
Do you miss anything at all about TV?
No.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, I shouldn't say that. I had a great time. I was 34 years at Channel 4. I had a great time. Saw the whole country on the Channel 4 dime. Covered Super Bowl winners and World Series winners and Stanley Cup winners. I really had a great time in my job. I don't miss the nights and the weekends and the holidays and missing the weddings and the birthdays and the ball games. I don't miss that.
So a new career for you, have a very popular radio show on 101, the morning after. And how about the difference is, I know you prep for that, but you just kind of go in and do it. Mm-hmm. TV, how hard you have to work for a 4-minute show, or even harder for a half-hour show.
And you say new career, I've only been there 17 years. Thanks for listening. 17 years I've been doing this show. The show goes back longer than that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You just kind of talk and be yourself.
The texters have a real affection for you on the radio, maybe too much at times?
Well, it gets uncomfortable, yeah. Have to look away at times because it could embarrass me and my family.
Let me get some current thoughts from you. Let's just say you're John Mozeliak, trade deadline rapidly approaching. What do you do?
You sell whatever you can. I thought before the All-Star break, you just keep going for it because they were only, a game and a half or so out of the wild card. I said, can't give up. We've seen other seasons where they didn't have the best team in the league and won a World Series in 06 and 11. But now that it's really fallen apart since the All-Star break, you got to trade whoever. The problem is the guys you would want to trade aren't very tradable. Arenado, Sonny Gray, Contreras, Michaelis, either they make too much money that no team wants to touch, or they've got no trade clauses, and you can't trade them unless the player wants to go. So who are you going to trade that could bring back significant value the other way without giving up someone that you want to build the future for?
How about the perception of John Mozeliak in this town? He's had a really good run, but it looks like it's going to end on a bad note. How do you play dime store psychologist? What about the negative reaction for a guy who's done his job relatively well?
Oh, he's had a fantastic career. We've gotten spoiled here, just expecting the Cardinals every year to roll out a championship contender. And we really had that for about, 15, 18 years, something like that. He really did a terrific job. It just seems that over the last 3 or 4 years, every move he makes falls apart, everyone. And if you've ever played fantasy baseball or fantasy football, you can kind of empathize when you pick up a guy, you pick up a free agent, or you make a trade. It makes perfect sense at the time, and it just falls apart.
Blues, what's a bigger offseason story, John Kelly or the trading of Zach Bolduc?
I think John Kelly. I think people were closer to John Kelly than Zach Bolduc.
And your reaction to the whole thing?
I was stunned like everybody else. He's a network quality broadcaster, one of the best in the business, at least for my money. The only way it makes any sense at all, I think, is if they're trying to save money somewhere. If they want to go with one broadcast crew instead of two, I could understand that. You know, every company cuts back at times when they don't want to have to and has to let go of a popular employee. That happens lots of places. Yeah. But they haven't really said that. They just have kind of acted like they think this is going to be better. I don't know how it's going to be better. It's going to be different, but I don't know better.
You're a proud Mizzou alum, and I know you're a big fan of the fact that Mizzou changes uniforms every week.
I don't like it. Football team, I don't like it. No. It's like they're wearing costumes out there. What's with the white helmets with the feather coming out of the side? I don't like it at all. Mizzou should have a black helmet, a black or white jersey, and the old gold pants. Not the yellow pants that they wear now, the gold pants. Look like Mizzou.
What about the way I thought that you always had kind of a short memory and you didn't let things bother you?
Like I've had head injuries. That was the big thing.
I lose sleep to this day if I have bad sportscasts. But did you kind of just turn the page the next day or the
Oh,
next
yeah.
hour.
Yeah, before I got off the set. I always realized nobody really cared but me. If it was really horrible, I felt bad, for a minute, thought we could have done better, but never would have let it bother me, really.
What would you want somebody to say about Doug Vaughn's television and radio career?
We're certainly glad he's done. That's what they're likely to say. What I'd want them to say is, I guess we're not going to sue him. Either of those would be fine.